It seems to me that nowadays, most builders love to build huge imposing structures, be it giant monoliths, mountains, or even nether portals. Everything is big. In this video, I want to prove that isn't the case, and that even a small build can add life to your Minecraft worlds. If you stick around to the end of the video, you'll understand that big is not a rule, but a choice, and you'll see how a small area can really change the way your Minecraft world looks and feels.
Alright, so as I said in today's video, I want to build something smallish, just to add to the vibe of the whole place. And also, as I said, if you're going to stick to the end of the video, you will see that not everything you build has to be big. And that is a bit, not how it should be. Let me get that down real quick. There we go. So it's going to be in that area. I'm going to have to remove that tree because it's going to be in the way. And for now, I'm going to build this little square in today's video, and then I want to expand it next video probably here, so we have kind of like a forest and a opening through the forest to continue going that way. Also, in future episodes, I definitely want to terraform this, I don't know if I should call it a mountain, this rock formation, make it look nice, so we have something to look out to. But yeah, I already gathered everything. It was a pretty simple process. I almost had everything I needed, so that's pretty fine. Also, I'm sorry if my voice sounds weird, but I am sick, and that is probably the reason. Although I don't hear it myself, but who knows. I also need to fill up the hole and do a whole lot of terraforming on this side, but for now we're just going to focus here. I definitely want to still use the Sin Pines, courtesy of Sinnoh, as I said in the last video. If you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend you do. Because it just makes sense to have the tree types be cohesive, and although in the future I definitely want to build my own spruce trees, for now, if Sinnoh allows it, I'm gonna keep using his trees because they are amazing and he's such an amazing guy, and I'm very thankful that he lets me use his trees because I'm practically copying him. But yeah. So, I think first things first, I have to terraform this a bit, take out a bit of the dirt, and just have the area ready for the build. And the build is a little ruin with something hidden inside it that I'm not going to spoil yet. You're going to have to stick around a little bit more to find out what that is. But yeah, it's going to look pretty great. I think, although it's going to look weird without terraforming around it, but once I get to really connecting everything here, and once I actually get more time, because now that I'm getting ready for the uni admission exam, I have a lot of work to do when it comes to math, so I really have cut my time even more. So videos are definitely going to be harder to make unless I am on holiday, which during holidays, if I find the time and energy, I'm definitely going to make videos because I still love doing this. It's just time and stuff like that isn't really on my side, and I'm always very tired because balancing school, the gym, YouTube, social life, you know, there's a lot of things you need to balance, and it doesn't really always work out. But it's fine. That's enough about me. You're here to see the video and the build. So I think without further ado, I should just start doing the terraforming I was talking about. And as it usually is with me, after I'm done, you know, emptying the area that I need to build in, it looks like a war zone just appeared, and it looks like a couple of bombs went off, but I mean, it's all worth it in the end, and that's exactly what I'm about to do. So, without further ado, which is something I say a bit too much, and also, why did the rain just start? This is not a good sign. This is not a good sign. I hate the rain. But anyway, let's get to building the terrain. And that's that. Although it still looks like a war zone, I'm not gonna lie. The foliage and the little patches of mud and muddy roots and rooted dirt and whatever really add a bit of life to it. And the next part is probably the most interesting part, and that's the ruins. So I want to build some ruins. Maybe lore-wise, there was a bandit who maybe stole from the village or stole from the city or stole from somewhere. And then he was traveling back home and he stumbled upon these ruins in a little forested little thicket. And so he decided to camp out here and, you know, fry himself up some meat, as you're gonna see. And yeah, these ruins are really random. Maybe they're from the old lost civilization that built the giant portal, or it can be whatever you guys want. And also, if you guys want this world for yourselves, don't hesitate to check it out if you're a member. The world download is available for all members in the VIP tier. It's definitely not necessary, but it's very much appreciated. And if you guys want to play in this world yourselves, that is the way you're gonna do it. So yeah, with that out of the way, I think we can start building the ruins. Here it is in all of its glory, the little ruin. I think the best way I can show you is using free cam to get a little aerial view. It's a really small ruin. Maybe it was a keep at some point. I'm imagining this was like a little tower. We had your little arch going in, so it was a really small building when it actually stood in real, or I guess real life. What am I saying? Like back during when it actually was functional and people were living in it and stuff like that. And yeah, I used tough and mossy cobble to just kind of give it this grayish, greenish hue, and I tried using a bit of deep slate, but on such a small scale it was pretty hard to get any kind of shading done, or even any kind of like, I don't know. It's the first time I've ever built a ruin, so I'm pretty proud of how it turned out for a first. As you can see, it's like a straight wall going across another wall, the wall going into the tower, and then the walls for the entrance, so it had a weird shape when it was definitely still up, and of course during time it must have also distorted, you know, due to erosion and whatever. I don't really know how ruins work. Okay, I'm gonna get that out of the way. But yeah, let me show you the bandit camp. This is probably better in first person. So as you can see, you come up here, you have a little chest. This is probably where he puts stolen stuff. We have the decorated pot, again, something probably stolen. Some firewood. We have a little seat for him to sit on. We have a sleeping bag next to the fire so he can sleep. And I used a mangrove log to simulate a hunk of meat, because it kind of looks like a hunk of meat. Maybe he hunted something and so he's now cooking it for himself to eat. I tried to make like a little, what do you call it, a spit, I think it's called. So like some meat on a spit. And yeah, again, I'm pretty sick, and it's pretty tough, but it's okay. It's just a little cold, nothing more. It's not gonna stop me from building. And yeah, this place is almost done. I also tried making like little holes and little details on the ruins. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, and once I'm gonna get the trees in, it's gonna look really hidden away and really nice. So I think I don't need to drag this on any further. I think it's time to build those trees. Now with the trees in, the build is finally finished, and as we go along this path, it really adds a nice thing to look at in the distance. Let's just walk slowly towards it. Of course, this is all going to look much nicer when I'm going to finish that little rock formation, and the trees are going to wrap all around here to this hill. There might be some more builds along the path, and then it's going to extend all the way out there. And this is probably going to be the outskirts of the village, and it's where it's going to all end, because this settlement needs to end. It's probably going to be the first settlement I'll ever going to finish in Minecraft. I've always built villages, but I've never really finished them, if I'm being honest with you. So yeah, here it is. And as I said at the beginning of the video, my plan for this was to just make a little small build, just as a detail, nothing functional, nothing huge, not a giant redstone farm, just something to add some detail to the world and a little bit of lore. As I told you, the little bandit who lives here and is cooking himself some food with his stolen goods. He just found these ruins and called them home for a little while, at least. But yeah, the trees are the biggest part of the build, to be honest. And again, courtesy of Sinnoh, I'm really glad that he has allowed me to use these trees in his build, in my build, and I'm grateful that he has given me this privilege, of course. But yeah, the canopy of the trees really, it's not really that big of a canopy. There's a bunch of holes in it, but still, the idea is there. So the trees really add shadows, and it kind of hides away the ruins. So maybe, like, if you're farther away, you can't really tell that there's ruins there. Sorry for the nose, but yeah. As you can see, like if you look from here, you kind of can't really tell that there's ruins, but once you get closer and closer, you start seeing the stone formations, and you're like, oh, what is that? And then you come here, and you just admire the little details. Of course, there's not really much to talk about for this build, to be honest with you guys. I mean, I usually yap for like 5 minutes about my build, but I didn't really use any incredible techniques or really interesting things here. It's just kind of here. It's just something to add some vibes to the world, and there's not much I can really say, except that I really recommend that more builders do this, because it's something interesting to me that something this small kind of just makes the world better, you know? Like, if I wouldn't have this, this would just be a random forest without anything in it. I mean, it's not a forest yet, but like if I was to build the forest and not have this here, it would kind of just feel like an empty forest. And although I can definitely add life to the forest by making these little patches with like plants and whatever, it still wouldn't feel the same way as it does with the ruins here. And I'm really glad I took this or I made this choice to build these ruins. And once everything is in here, as I said a couple minutes ago, or like a minute ago, because this is really short, it's gonna look much better. And I can't wait to have this place finished finally, so I can call it finished. There's gonna be a bunch of things here, of course. It's not just gonna be forest, but that's still pretty far in the future, and it's probably gonna take me years by the time that, or judging by the time that it takes me to build stuff nowadays. But it's fine. And I think that's actually gonna do it for today's video. I thank you guys for watching. As usual, here are all my VIP members. I can't thank you guys enough. You are the best. And if you want to have the build download for yourself, it's of course on my Discord in the member only channel for the VIP members. It's nothing that is needed, but is definitely appreciated by me. And you guys are the best. The community is probably the best part of being a content creator, although my community is still pretty small. If it ever becomes something big, I'm definitely going to be grateful for that as well, because it's just so cool to have friends-ish, like people that, you know, watch your content, and when you think about it, they're all over the world. Like, I've had people on my streams from Cuba, if I'm not wrong, or like the Caribbean. No, it wasn't Cuba, it was the Caribbean. Like people from Japan, Sweden, all over the world, and it's so interesting that so many people just come together to watch some guy build in Minecraft. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I was David, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.